Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Bringing you the news from Sri Lanka and across the world, it's a national news broadcast on Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. I'm Siobhan Pereira.
And I'm Sutami Jayaratna. Now let's take a look at today's headlines.
An administration not providing political haven to any criminal created, stresses the president. A multi-day fishing vessel transporting narcotics taken into custody with 6 persons in the southern deep sea. A haul of Kush narcotic valued at 340 million rupees recovered from Katunayaka and Central Mail Exchange. The highest tax income recorded in the history this year. Public Security Committee certification not required in obtaining police reports, says Minister of Public Security. The National Productivity Future Plan for Sri Lanka handed over to the country. Australia bans social media for children under the age of 16.
Moving on to those stories and more in detail, President Anurakkumara Dissanayake says that certain forces of conspiracy are trying to divert the path with a clear-cut target in order to rescue Sri Lanka from the narcotics network, drug traffickers and the underworld which has engulfed the entire country.
Now, the defeated political groups of conspiracy are trying at the moment to sabotage the nationally important mission initiated by the government and to gain political advantage by rallying round the people with them. The President stressed today at Tangol the mission of the government is to completely eradicate the drug menace, and the underworld will be carried forward despite any forced by the opponents. The Hambantota district program of a Nation United National Mission commenced today with the patronage of President Anurakkumara Dissanayake to free Sri Lankan society from dangerous narcotics which has become a national menace. This program is being implemented at all 9 provinces in the island with the objective of freeing the country from the dangerous drug menace and trafficking which endanger the lives of the youth community of the country. The first stage of a Nation United National Mission is being implemented according to a concept by the President, commenced at the Sugathadas Indoor Stadium on the 30th of October. President Anurakkumara Dissanayake said that the country is together with determination to save the nation from the dangerous drug menace faced by it. A country cannot progress with crimes, corruption interconnected with narcotics. The black economy of narcotics and crimes will never provide the country development, peace and prosperity, he stressed. The people have entrusted the government with the responsibility of rescuing the nation from this menace. The child brought up with immense expectations has become an anti-social activist, bringing a menace to the society. No parent expected that a child who was under their care will own such a critical fate. The parents of a young child in the village are scared of providing freedom for them to act in their own way. As such, the country have to defeat this scourge at any cost. There are 2 paths we can choose: the old path on which we are heading so far and the path of development. We have to choose the path to defeat this menace without endangering the lives of our children further, and it is the responsibility of the government. The initial step in this direction has already been taken. The officials and members of security agencies have to strive hard in this direction. They should perform their duty, and necessary safety for them will be provided. The Navy is providing a huge contribution by safeguarding the seas around the country. The political will and the state mechanism needs to defeat this menace for this purpose will also be provided. An enormous responsibility also lies with Mahasangha and other religious leaders. The link between the village and the religious places can be used in defeating the menace. The mission to defeat the drug menace will continue with assistance from foreign countries also, since a large number of criminals are hiding in those countries. A considerable number of them have been brought back into the country. Police and the tri-forces will directly intervene in any effort to sabotage these efforts of the government. The criminals are targeting the families of armed forces, and there is also an unseen hand behind the scene. They are trying to discourage the efforts taken by the government and to divert attention elsewhere. They can also conspire by providing monetary assistance in this regard. The government knows extremely well that the campaign is not just against the criminal and the person who is against the crime. The country has a professional and skilled mechanism trained by the police and the tri-forces. As such, with the active mediation of the Mahasangha and other religious leaders along with citizens supported by the professional security forces of the country, the menace can be defeated definitely. Meanwhile, the services of officers who fulfilled their duties gallantly by enacting the law in the southern province was also appreciated on this occasion with the participation of President Anurukumara Dissanayaka.
එයා කොච්චර සුන්දර මිනිස්සෙක්ද කියලා එයාටම අමතක වෙලා. ඉන්නේ කොහෙද? කරන්නේ මොනවද? අමතක වෙලා. අවසානයේ මාවත් අමතක වෙලා. එහෙම මිනිස්සු මේ රටට වටින්නේ නැද්ද? ඔයාලට පුළුවන් නම් මට ඒ සුන්දර මිනිස්සයව ආපහු දෙන්න. වසට විසට ඉඩ නොදෙන්න ඉන්නවා වෙන්න. අපට හැකිය සොයුරනි ඔබ හැම අද සුරකින්න. ලෝකයට මුණ දෙන්න අභිමානය ගන්න. රටවයකට නිවාදමු සීතල ගිනි කන්ද.
Sri Lanka Navy has taken a multi-day fishing vessel into their custody on suspicions of transporting narcotics in the deep sea of northern coast of Sri Lanka. The Navy said that 6 fishermen were taken into custody and both suspect and the vessel are being brought to the island at present.
2 Navy vessels left the Tangor Fishery Harbour today to bring the relevant vessel and fishermen back. It is scheduled to start investigations over the materials in the multi-day vessel suspect to be narcotics, and the suspect will be handed over to the police for further investigations. Meanwhile, 3 suspects were taken into custody with over 4 kilos of Kush narcotics over market value of 40 million rupees last night at Katunayake Airport. Officials of the Police Anti-Narcotics Bureau conducted the raid. According to the police, the suspect who arrived at the airport from Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia had concealed the stock of narcotics in their travelling bags. They were taken into custody while they were coming out of the airport following all the checkups. The suspects have been identified as residents of Colombo and Vallampiti areas. A suspect was taken into custody in Kochikade area with a foreign-made firearm and a stock of narcotics in his possession by a team of police special task force. The 51-year-old suspect has possessed harsh narcotics and over a kilo of cannabis powder. A suspect parcel sent to Sri Lanka from Thailand was checked at the Central Mail Exchange on the 10th of this month and discovered over 30 kilograms of Kush narcotics. According to the custom officials, the stock has a street value of 300 million rupees. A person in an address of Arugoda, Alubumulla in Panadura has sent this parcel to an address of house belonging to him in Piliyandala.
The Inland Revenue Department has been able to record the highest tax income in the history of the island. This year, the amount is over 2,002 billion rupees. In an announcement issued by the Commissioner General of Inland Revenue, it is an increase of over 6 billion rupees compared to the previous year. The tax income of 2024 was 1,942 billion rupees. The income this year has exceeded 2,002 billion rupees. Accordingly, the Inland Revenue Department has contributed to maintain state monetary conditions steady fast.
Public Security Minister Anand Vijaypala says that no circular has been issued that the certificate of the Public Security Committee is essential in obtaining police reports. He made these remarks in Parliament today. Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa said that the Aruna newspaper reported that not only the Gram Niladhari certificate but also the head of the Public Security Committee is also needed to obtain police clearance report. No Gram Niladhari in Anuradhapura area had asked such a request. Based on a statement made by the provincial reporter, The Aruna newspaper had published it as the main news. This is merely an attempt to create a chaotic situation in the country by publishing false news. Aruna newspaper published such a fake news earlier in several locations as well. These are only sabotage activities. The general public have the right to know true information. The newspaper had attempted to create a disorder in the society. Therefore, legal action should be taken against such attempts.
මේ රටේ කැළඹීමක් හදන්න මේ ප්‍රවෘත්තිය අරමුණ ඒක අරුණ පුවත්පත මීට කලිනුත් අවස්ථා කීපයක මෙහෙම ප්‍රවෘත්ති පළ කරලා තියෙනවා මේ එකක් 2025 ජනවාරි 3 ක්ලීන් ශ්‍රී ලංකා යටතේ පාරේ කොස්සෙකුණන්න බෑ කොලකැඳ විකුණු අයටත් අතුරුගිරිය පොලිසිය නඩු දාලා මේ ප්‍රවෘත්තියත් අපි සාවද්‍යයි කියලා කිව්වා දැන් ප්‍රවෘත්තිය හදාගෙන ඇති නොවැම්බර් 25 26 27 විතර වෙනකොට උතුරේ සමරුම් ගැන කියන්න ගිය සැරේත් මේ වැඩේ කළා මේ තියෙන්නේ 2026 නොවැම්බර් 26 LTT සමාජිකයන් සැමරීමට බාධාවක් නැහැ බැනර් ලාංඡන ඡායාරූප ප්‍රදර්ශනය කළ හැකි කියලා පළවෙනි පිටුවේ වම් අත පැත්තේ මහජන ආරක්ෂක ඇමති අපි ආනන්ද විජේපාල මැතිතුමා කිව්වායි කියලා ඉතාම සාවාදී ප්‍රවෘත්තියක් දානවා මේ පත්තරේ ඒ අයගේම නාලිකාවේ උදේට පත්තරේ විස්තර කර කර කියනවා දැන් මේක වවනවා වවලා රටේ මහජනතාවද කැළඹීමක් හදන්න මොකද්ද ගරු කතානායකතුමනි මේකේ අරමුණ මේ තන්නේ කරම කඩාකප්පල්කාරී ක්‍රියාවක් දැන් මේකට තියෙන ඒගොල්ලන්ට තියෙන උත්තරේ මොකද්ද කවුරු හරි ප්‍රාදේශීය මාධ්‍යවේදියෙක් කොළඹට කතා කරලා කිව්වා එතකොට අපි පළ කළා ණය කතාවට කිව්වෙත් ඕකම නේද මාධ්‍ය ලෝකේ එහෙම කොහොමද වාර්තා කරන්නේ දැන් මොකක් හරි මේවට සම්බන්ධ අපරාපක්ෂ දෙපාර්තමේන්තුවේ හෝ ප්‍රෙස් කවුන්සිල් එකේ හෝ වෙන ඊට අදාළ ආයතනයක පැමිණිල්ලක් ඉදිරිපත් කරාට පස්සේ ඕන් කියන පටන් ගන්නවා මාධ්‍ය මර්ධනය කරනවා කියලා මේක මාධ්‍ය මර්ධනය නෙවෙයි ජනතාවට අයිතියක් තියෙන ඇත්ත තොරතුරු දැනගන්නට ඒ ජනතාවට තොරතුරු දැන ගැනීමේ තිබෙන අයිතිය මුවා වෙලා ජනතාව අතර කැළඹීමක් හදන්න කරන මේ උත්සාහය සම්බන්ධයෙන් අදාළ නීතිමය ක්‍රියාමාර්ග ගන්නවා ගරුතුමාට කියන්න කැමති මේක කඩාකප්පල්
Opposition leader Sajid Premadasa said that this is not an act of sabotage. He personally found out the sources of this matter. A youth named Anuradha Madhusanka in Kumbalgoda Grama Niladari division of the Puhulwalla Divisional Secretariat area in Matara requested the Hakmana police station for a report to get a job in the private sector. The police had instructed him to get a character certificate from the chairman of the relevant community police committee.
අවශ්‍යයි කියලා. එතකොට චරිත සහතිකය ලබා දුන්නයින් පසුයි මේ පුද්ගලයාට පොලිස් වාර්තාව ලබා දීලා තිබෙන්නේ.
කියපු වාර්තාවේ දින කියනවාද මට දෙන්න.
Minister Anand Vijaypala said that under this government, public securities committees have been set up at present. The Ministry of Public Security or the Police Department has not issued any such circular. The ministry will look into the matter if there is an incident at any police station.
The National Productivity Future Plan and the Accreditation Certificate of the Asian Productivity Organisation for Sri Lanka was officially handed over to the island today. It was handed over to the Minister Sunil Handunetti by the General Secretary of the Asia Productivity Organisation, Dr. Indra Padana.
Initial activities of the formulation of the Productivity Future Plan for Sri Lanka with the participation of the Asian Productivity Organisation and the Korean Development Institution has commenced. The plan has been drafted based on industries which provide a high contribution to the Sri Lankan economy, such as agriculture, tourism, fisheries, textiles and apparels. The plan drafted accordingly was officially handed over today. The signing of the Strategic Cooperation Programme for this country by Sri Lanka and the Asian Productivity Organisation, along with the awarding of the accreditation certificates for the productivity experts, was also conducted parallel to this programme. Deputy Minister Chaturanga Besingha, Secretary to the Ministry of Industries and Entrepreneurship Development Tilaka Jayasundara, officials of the Asian Productivity Organisation and number of other guests joined the occasion.
The need is quite clear. The background for this entire journey that we pushed this year, we wanted to bring the productivity discussion under Ministry of Industries because as a country, the only way forward for us to go is improving our competitiveness. The competitiveness of a country can only be achieved through improving its productivity, especially its factor productivity, enabling that country to become a investment friendly nation. I was so happy to see that the clear identification of the problem, because if you don't identify clearly the root cause, the strategies that we are going to implement may not be effective. So the three pillars that is been identified are very prominent and required at this point of this country. So we are going for a resilient, sustainable economic growth. We want reforms in all our institutions, not only government, but all institutions, organizations, private sector. We need reforms in all of those. And then We need to continue or fast track making selected industries more competitive in the globe. So I think those three key pillars are quite important at this point, and it will be very effective as we lay out this plan and ensure that the rest of the government is also part of this process. And I think that is why, as the plan clearly indicates, establishing the Productivity Commission is going to be the key critical success factor of this journey. And we are clear as a government the need of such a body or authority to drive productivity as a country. National Productivity Secretariat has been working very hard in driving institutional productivity.
Only a short time ago, the country stood an edge between 2021 and 2023. Sri Lanka's economy contracted sharply. Inflation, painful referrals, and debt burden became unsustainable. But today, on 20 November 2025, we can say with conviction that the direction has changed. Growth has returned, the economy expanding again in 2024 last year, and continuing its recovery into 2025. Congratulations for Sri Lanka. Inflation has stabilized, confidence both domestic and internationally is slowly being rebuilt as progress continues under IMF-supported program and debt restructuring process in advance. This recovery deserves to be acknowledged. It is a result of political decision, administrative effort, and public resilience. Yet, to be honest with ourselves, it is not enough. We still have some of the problems in many aspects, communities, society, public, and etc. That is why this National Productivity Master Plan is not only a technical annex to recovery, between the short-term stabilization and long-term self-sustaining prosperity for Sri Lanka.
Secretary to the Ministry of Agriculture says that issuing the first installment of the fertilizer subsidy has been started at the very beginning of the cultivation in the Maha season this year. At the press briefing held in Colombo today, he said that the government has also made agreements to purchase big onions and potato harvest from the local farmers at a higher price through Satasa. Secretary to the Ministry of Agriculture, D.P. Wickramasinghe, said that it has been estimated to cultivate about 800,000 hectares of paddy lands in the Maha season. Fertilizer subsidy has already been given about 371,000 hectares of lands at present. About 470,000 farmers have received 4,822 million rupees by today. 170,000 more farmers will receive a sum of 1,275 million rupees by tomorrow. The Satasa has mediated to purchase big onions harvest from the farmers. At present, farmers can sell their harvest at a good price of 165 rupees per kilo. Satasa has also started purchasing local potato harvest.
The country is getting back to a development drive, and now for several development news items in brief. A housing project for the estate community living in landslide-prone high-risk areas in Badula district was initiated at the Vevasse estate under the patronage of Minister Samantha Widiratna. This project will provide safe houses for 18 families in the area. The Ministry of Plantation and Community Infrastructure has provided a grant of 57.6 million rupees for this project. Kehelwala Yatikandra Road in Matra has been developed, laying concrete at a cost of 1 million rupees. This project provides benefits for over 450 families in the area. It is significant that villagers also made their contribution for this. The development of road from Kohongavula Junction to the Vandurasagama in Katupota Varipula commenced recently. A sum of 45 million rupees has been allocated to carpet this road. The development work commenced under the patronage of parliamentarian Sujiva Disanayaka. Construction of the customs checking centre needed to clearing containers at the Hambantota International Port commenced today. This centre will provide opportunity for investors in the southern and eastern provinces to import raw materials needed to their industries and to export their products. Customs Director Sivali Arubgoda and many others were present at this occasion. We'll be back after a short break. Stay tuned, don't go anywhere.
Hello ස්ටයිල් කොච්චි චිකන් ෆියුෂන් රස ප්‍රීමා කොත්තුමි පන්තමයි.
Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
And now in a developing story, various factions accuse that opposition parties are attempting to exploit the incident occurred at a temple in Trincomalee to obtain political gains by arousing racism. Mahasangha pointed out that they will leave no room for such elements to resort to racist activities. Venerable Panda Vijayavansa Thera said that the President has been informed to start an investigation into this incident. Repetition of such incidents should necessarily be stopped. No individual group, community or religious group not be permitted to arouse communal hatred. Within the administrative city, there are sensitive people living in unity and fraternity. Trincomalee is a paradise for foreigners, and such a place should not be subjected to racial, religious or any other type of division. Social unrest in the area will lead to disrupt the development of the country.
ප්‍රශ්න ගැටලු ඇති වුණොත් මෙවන් පරිසරයන් තුළ අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන රටේ දියුණුව ගොඩනගන්නට අපහසු ජනතාවගෙන් ප්‍රතික්ෂේප.
Venerable Galpottavala Udesiri Thera, Registrar of the Gaul District Amarapura Sangha Sabha, said that the opposition had to be fallen into dustbin by rejecting from the people, are now attempting to hold a meeting in Nogegore tomorrow. However, they face difficulties in finding people to take part in this event. That is why they are attempting to arouse religious and racial hatred. A minor incident occurred in Trincomalee was made complicated by some individuals who came from Colombo. Their aim is to create a chaotic situation in the country. Therefore, all the communities should act in a responsible manner.
Meanwhile, the expenditure head of the Ministry of Power was passed with amendments during the Working Committee stage debate of the 2026 budget today. Several government and opposition parliamentarians expressed their views. Minister Kumara Jayakodi said that Ceylon Electricity Board, with a staff of 12,000 employees, which was to be sold to 12 companies under cabinet approval, has been safeguarded for the future generation. The government started the process in the month of August by amending the Ceylon Electricity Board Act. By the end of January 2026, the power sector with complete government ownership will be managed as a people's company, a transmission company, a distribution company and a system administration company, the minister pointed out. Parliamentarian Shanakya Rasamanikam stressed that Sri Lanka is on the right track to learn foreign exchange for the country via the energy sector. A memorandum of understanding in energy was signed in April when the Indian Premier visited the country for high voltage direct current power. In this case, the national grid will also be connected to the Indian grid and the country will have an opportunity to export energy. During the dry season, a huge expenditure is incurred to obtain energy from thermal power plants, but with this connectivity, Sri Lanka will be able to obtain power. Parliamentarian Chamara Sampath Dissanayake pointed out that 1 megawatt has not been added to the power grid and it was done by the UMP and SLFP. Parliamentarian Ravindra Bandara said that there was a target of 2,000 megawatts and 702 renewable energy has been fulfilled during this first year. Another 1,300 megawatts are to be provided in the next 4 years. He requested for the assistance of the opposition not becoming a traditional opposition which oppose everything and to assist in this effort to convert the country to the lowest electricity bill in the Asian region by 2030 via renewable energy.
And in more local news, a program under the title Tourism Relations between India and Sri Lanka was held in Colombo recently. Now, the Indian High Commissioner to Sri Lanka, Santosh Jha, and Minister of Foreign Affairs, Vijay Tahera, graced this occasion as the chief guests. They focused attention on the future programs of the tourism sector between India and Sri Lanka. Concerns were also raised on strategies needed to develop the tourism sector using new technology. The program had been organized by the Indian High Commission Office and was attended by a large number of individuals representing the tourism industry in both countries.
culture, and people-to-people connections. In recent years, India is Sri Lanka's largest source market for tourism. This week, we welcomed our 2 million tourists and we expect 2.4 to 2.5 million arrivals by the year end, a historic milestone. By 2030, we aim for 4 million tourists and $8 billion in revenue. To reach this goal, Sri Lanka is prioritizing sustainability, market diversification, improved connectivity, and digital transformation. We are aligning with global trends, including the Riyadh Declaration on the Future of Tourism, which supports integrating AI and digital tools into national tourism planning. Indian arrivals have increased in recent months, supported by the visa-free entry facility and targeted promotional campaigns. Sri Lanka remains one of the top short-haul destinations for Indian travelers. We are focusing on city breaks, beaches, heritage tours, MICE tourism, destination weddings, film tourism, and cricket tourism. Our roadshows, B2B engagements, and airline partnerships across Indian cities continue to strengthen this momentum. Given our 2,500-year relationship, we see significant opportunity in religious tourism, including the Buddhist circuits and the Ramayana trail. I also encourage more Indian filmmakers and investors to consider Sri Lanka for hospitality projects, events, and film production.
Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Employment Arun Hemachandra held a constructive meeting with a chair of the delegation for relations with the countries of South Asia of the European Parliament, Serban Dimitris Turdsa, together with members of delegation. Discussions centered on Sri Lanka's ongoing effort to advance inclusive governments and strengthen minority representation in line with the country's border reform agenda. The Deputy Minister reaffirmed Sri Lanka's commitment to the meeting key EU standards relating to democratic reforms, human rights, transparency, accountability, and rule of law benchmarks. Both sides expressed readiness to further deepen Sri Lanka-EU cooperation with a shared focus on supporting the nation's path toward long-term unity, stability, and sustainable development. We'll be back with news overseas after a short break.
Moving on with your foreign news, Australia is preparing to enforce a landmark social media ban for children under 16. Platforms such as Instagram and Facebook have begun shutting teen accounts as government advances its child safety measure plan.
Australia is moving to ban social media access for anyone under the age of 16 from December 10, 2025. In preparations, Meta had already started notifying Instagram, Facebook and Threads aged between 13 and 15 that their accounts will begin shutting down from December 4th. The company said that the teens will be able to download their posts, videos and messages before deactivation. Young users will also be given the opportunity to challenge the ban through a video selfie age scan or by uploading official identification documents. Australia's internet regulator estimates around 150,000 Facebook users and more than 350,000 Instagram users fall into this age group. The ban will also apply to TikTok, YouTube, X, Reddit, Snapchat and several other platforms. Firms that fail to block users 16 face fines of up to 50 million Australian dollars. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese said that the move is aimed at letting kids be kids, although major tech companies oppose the ban.
Meanwhile, a severe cold snap is gripping the United Kingdom with a heavy snow, freezing temperatures and widespread disruptions. The UK Met Office has issued multiple weather warnings as the travel chaos and school closure continue.
Wintry weather is continuing across the UK as temperature fell well below zero overnight, leading to widespread snow and ice. The UK Met Office had issued yellow warnings for Northern Ireland, parts of Scotland, Wales and large areas of England. A more serious amber warning is in place for the North York Moors and parts of Yorkshire Wall, where up to 25 centimeters of snow could fall on higher ground. Snow and ice have disrupted road travels with dozens of schools closed in many parts of the region. The National Railway Service has warned that speed restrictions may be needed in areas affected by snow and ice, possibly causing cancellation and delays. UK forecasters have also said that thundersnow is possibly in parts of Yorkshire and the Scottish Highlands, a rare phenomenon where thunderstorms produce heavy snow instead of rain. Conditions are expected to improve by the weekend, with temperatures returning to average levels.
Exciting news for animal lovers from Malaysia. Now, Malaysia has welcomed a new pair of giant pandas from China. Now, the pandas will spend the next decade at Zoo Negara.
A large crowd gathered at Kuala Lumpur International Airport this evening to welcome two giant pandas arriving from China. The pandas named Shengxing and Xiaoyu are beginning a 10-year stay at Zoo Negara under China's Panda diplomacy program. Footage from the airport showed staff cheering as two metal crates containing the pandas were unloaded from the aircraft. Officials said that the pair were then transported to Zoo Negara, where they will undergo a mandatory quarantine before being introduced to the public early next year. Shengxing, a male born in August 2020, has been described as lively and energetic with a love for climbing. Xiaoyu, a female born in September 2020, is said to have a gentle personality and a strong fondness for food. The pair were chosen as part of a new round of conservation cooperation between Malaysia and China following the extension of their panda agreement earlier this year.
In our sports news, the first match of Sri Lanka in the Tri-Nation T20 cricket tournament participating Pakistan, Sri Lanka and Zimbabwe is now in progress at the Rawalpindi International Cricket Stadium against Zimbabwe. Chasing a victory target of 163 runs, Sri Lanka were reeling at 75 runs for the loss of 6 wickets in 13 overs a short while ago. Winning the toss, Sri Lanka elected to field first. Zimbabwe team scored 162 runs with a loss of 8 wickets in their allotted 20 overs. Brian Bennett was the top scorer with 49 runs, followed by Sikandar Raza with a valuable 47 runs. In bowling, Vanidu Hasaranga claimed 3 wickets and Eshan Malinga captured 2 wickets.
Oh, what a start from Malaysia. Oh, that's gone up in the air and...
ACDC cricket team of the Ministry of Mass Media won the T20 Friendship Cup cricket tournament held in India. The tournament was held in Andhra Pradesh, India. The tournament was organised by the Great Cricket Step Sports Federation of Andhra Pradesh. ACDC cricket team and the Andhra Pradesh cricket team participated in it. The final 2 games of the 5-match tournament was abandoned due to rain. ACDC cricket team won 2 out of other 3 matches. In a special feature, Prasad Niroshan completed an unbeaten century, scoring 126 runs in the first match. Prasad Niroshan and Janaka Priyantha won their Player of the Match awards in the matches won by Sri Lanka. 4 players of Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation are representing the ACDC cricket team. They are Prasad Niroshan, Buddhika Dunusingha, Deepa Gunawardana and Tilina Kulatunga. Prasad Niroshan also won the award for the best batsman of the tournament.
Well, that was a look at your news here at Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. I've been Siobhan Pereira together with Situmi Jayaratna. Wish you a pleasant week ahead and a great night.